There's some seats up front for those of you in the back. If there's 5 seats up here, if you want to join us. Okay. We've got 2 board members that are on Zoom tonight. They're both feeling a little bit under the weather. So Ms. Stevens and Ms. Kelly are joining us via Zoom. Ms. Bramlett just joined us. Ms. Maloof, you have the invocation and the pledge tonight?
Yes. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening with thankfulness and with heavy hearts. We're thankful for the freedoms that we all get to experience today. We're thankful for those who have fought for those freedoms and who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for us. We're thankful that we have access to quality education, that we have access to quality health care, and that we have the freedom to have different thoughts, and that we're able to share those thoughts freely. We are thankful for those who have worked as essential workers over the past year or so, those who have come into our homes when we have needed them, those healthcare workers who have taken care of us and our loved ones when we've needed them. We're thankful for our teachers and our school staff who have taken on so many extra duties over the past few years for us. These folks did not choose this profession to do some of the things that they've been asked to do. They chose this profession because they love kids. They want to teach. They're passionate about their subject, and they want to share that. We've asked a lot of them, and we hope that they know how much they are appreciated. We're also thankful for our superintendent and our administrative team who have worked hard to make sure that we had the adequate resources and that our kids were educated. We know that there are a lot of people suffering. We've got children ill. We've got teachers who are battling. We've got family members of teachers who are battling this disease. Please be with them and heal them and bring peace. We know that there's a lot of frustration in our community, in every community all over this world. And there's a lot of emotion and a lot of passion. We ask your continued blessings on all of us, that we can be very strong and pull together and fight this together and be the community that we know we can be. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Maloof, for those well thought out words. We're going to start out with the approval of the August 3rd minutes. I'm sure you've all had a chance to look at them. I need a motion to approve in a second, please.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Bailey and Mr. Raper, all in favor?
Lynn,
Next,
yeah.
called meeting minutes on the 17th. Need a motion to approve in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bailey, Ms. Maloof, all in favor?
I have my hand raised. Aye.
And we have the called meeting minutes for the work session on the 31st. Motion to approve in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Bramlett and Mr. Bailey, all in favor? Thank you very much. Now we have an approval for the agenda tonight.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Bailey, Kenny, All in favor? Okay. I don't think we have any committee reports tonight. We're not doing clean school building committee. Dr. McMichael, you have some recognitions tonight, I believe.
Yes, sir. All right, check this thing out for a minute. We do. We've got some great recognition tonight. First of all, I want to give a shout out to a number of our students that participated in the 68 days of summer learning. We are very pleased to announce that 117 students participated in the Barrow County System's 68 Days of Summer Learning Reading Challenge. These students committed to reading each day throughout the summer. The students tracked the number of minutes they spent reading each day in a reading log, and then returned the logs being entered into a drawing for prizes. This evening, we will draw names of 5 students out, and then we will also visit those schools next week and present them each with a $20 gift card to a local bookstore. And want to give an extra special thanks to District 4 board member Beverly Kelly, donating the money for the gift cards. So that was very, very nice of her to do that. Mr. Chairman, if you'd like to help me out here, we'll pull 5 out. Pull them on. And 5. All right. Let's see. The winners are Miss Annabelle Willis. She's kindergarten at AES. Her teacher is Dr. Smith. Joining Annabelle will be Benita Chalmers, 5th grade, Miss Nixon at Holson Beck. Reagan Rogers, Holman, 2nd grade at Kennedy Elementary. And Mia Lee at Bramlett, Miss Wages, 5th grade. And last but certainly not least, Joshua, I'm a little trouble with the hand right here, Burrell at Kennedy. Did not have the teacher's name, but we will find out. So great job to all 117 kids for doing that this year. And now moving on, if ask some folks to meet me down here at the podium, we have a long overdue recognition for our BCSS Teachers of the Year for 21-22. And thank you all and your family members that could be here tonight for coming. You all have been asked to do, as was said earlier, always asked to do a lot. And the past couple of years, year and a half or so, has really, really put the point on that. And unfortunately, we're still having to deal with that now. With a lot of prayers and a lot of hope, that will be over soon. But we are thrilled to be able to bring you up in front of the board and in front of your peers and out to the TV audience tonight and recognize you and have a few gifts for you too. So get that going.
Okay, tonight I get to pinch hit and I couldn't be more thrilled because this is one of the most exciting things that we do as a school system. Megan McNally would normally be standing here and she sort of spearheads this for our district, but she's having a little trouble speaking tonight. So without a voice, she'd have a difficult time making it through. So I get to pinch hit and I'm real excited about that. Tonight is one of the most exciting events for us as a school district as we get to celebrate some of Barrow's brightest and boldest educators, our Teachers of the Year. As you can imagine, it is a great honor to be selected as Teacher of the Year, as you're first nominated by your peers and then selected as Teacher of the Year through a rigorous selection process involving the school's governance team. This year, that took 2 years to do. We have some extraordinary educators with us tonight, and we want to highlight them and celebrate their great accomplishments. We've put together a short video for you to see them in action. I think you'll be impressed with their professionalism and love for teaching and learning. So let's start by watching the video.
2021-2022 Barrow County School System Teachers of the Year. Auburn Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Grace Heck. Bramlett Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Kelly McDaniel. County Line Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Amanda Wilson. Holstenbeck Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Jenna Nixon. Statham Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Tara Nunley. Yargo Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Valerie Wall. Bear Creek Middle School Teacher of the Year, Jeff Blankenship. Hannah Morris Middle School Teacher of the Year, Denise Coulomb. Westside Middle School Teacher of the Year, Aaron Stenson. Appalachie High School Teacher of the Year, Stephanie Atkinson. Bethlehem Elementary School Teacher of the Year and District Finalist, Ashley Akins.
Standard unit has to be, they all have to be the same size. So if you're choosing a paper clip to measure something, can it be a small paper clip and a big paper clip? No, they have to be the same size, right? Why is that?
Kennedy Elementary School Teacher of the Year and District Finalist, Candace Stevens.
When the big hand is at the top, you know it's 2 o'clock. But when the hand goes round and it points down, it's 2:30. Good job.
Winder Barrow High School Teacher of the Year and District Finalist, Erin Hunt.
In order to calculate our Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, in order to figure out if evolution is actually happening, we have to look at a gene pool. And a gene pool is simply all of the alleles within a population.
Russell Middle School and 2021-2022 Barrow County School System Teacher of the Year, Logan Morris.
So I knew I was going to teach in Barrow County from my first job there in Atlanta. I walked in, I went straight to Barrow, and I just fell in love with the mission here, the mission to serve students, right? And we see that the more we pour into them, then the data is a result of all that pouring into them versus maybe other counties that focus more on the data, not the love. I mean, I truly just love being able to have the opportunity to give these students the tools in order to think critically for themselves, to go out in the world, in order to question things, to become these amazing little humans, and just be able to nurture that. I mean, everything goes back to them and being able to be blessed by the opportunity to be a part of, you know, their journey and their chapter. Every day you can walk in this room and you could be having the worst day in the morning, and I promise you, you will find some joy at least once, if not 120 times throughout the day. You're able to pour into people who are going to change the world, and that is such a privilege to be able to say. I wouldn't be in the position I am now without my administration. One, giving me the chance to work in Barrow County. Thank you, Miss Seeley. And then two, Miss Wages Peck, seeing leadership opportunities in myself that I never even saw in myself. She sought those out in us, as all of us, and was able to put me in positions that gave me the opportunity to grow as a teacher leader. And I just could not thank them enough and my team enough for all of their support. We have amazing teachers in this county, amazing teachers, and to be able to be working alongside them and being able to be recognized and being able to represent them is something that, I mean, I am humbled to be able to do. I mean, we have just a fantastic people that work in our county. I will be teaching until the day they push me out the door or pull me out by my hair. I can't imagine doing anything else, ever.
Congratulations to our Barrow County School System Teachers of the Year.
So now what we'd like to do is to call each of our teachers of the year up to receive some gifts. These are tokens of our appreciation for all the great things that you do with our students every day. A small way to say thank you and how proud we are of you. We would typically have you line up across the front, but I think because of COVID, we're going to do it a little differently this year, so I'll call each teacher up. If you'll come and you'll get your gifts here. And then after we've had a chance to express our appreciation for you, if you'll go back and have a seat, I'll call the next teacher up and we'll work our way through the list in that manner. So we're going to start with our 10 school level winners. Each of these will receive a sign for their classroom and a $250 grant check for their classroom. So we'll start with Auburn Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Grace Heck. Bramlett Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Kelly McDaniel. County Line Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Amanda Wilson. Holstenbeck Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Jenna Nixon. Statham Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Tara Nunley. Yargo Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Valerie Wall. Bear Creek Middle School Teacher of the Year, Jeff Blankenship. Heyman Morris Middle School Teacher of the Year, Denise Colomb. Westside Middle School Teacher of the Year, Aaron Stinson. Appalachia High School Teacher of the Year, Stephanie Atkinson. Next, we will recognize our 3 district finalists. Each of these will receive a sign for their classroom, a $300 grant check for their classroom, and a laptop computer. Our first finalist is Bethlehem Elementary School District Finalist Teacher of the Year, Ashley Akins. Our next is Kennedy Elementary School District Finalist Teacher of the Year, Candace Stevens. And our Winterboro High School District Finalist Teacher of the Year, Erin Hunt. And finally, our District Teacher of the Year will receive a sign for her classroom, a $300 grant check for her classroom, a Surface laptop with a Surface pen. She will also receive a $250 classroom grant from Jackson EMC, a $1,000 check from Hayward Allen Toyota, and a $500 check from Peach State Federal Credit Union. So our District Teacher of the Year from Russell Middle School is Logan Morris. This special night would not be possible without our Teacher of the Year sponsors. And we would like to thank the following people for their generosity and support of our Teachers of the Year: Barrow County Farm Bureau, Clear Concepts Consulting Group, Williams Electronics, Peach State Federal Credit Union, Zaxby's, Publix Supermarkets Charity, Jackson EMC, and the Corner Bookstore. And we would also like to thank our District Teacher of the Year Committee for their dedication to our district and to the challenging process of selecting a Teacher of the Year. Bill Ritter, Committee Chair, Lynn Stevens, Beverly Kelly, Vince Kane, Susan Wages, Tawana Johnson, David Kendrick, and Stephanie Sorrells. And finally, we would like for our Teachers of the Year to go out into the lobby to get your picture made as a group. And thank you all and congratulations.
And while you're getting, I also want everyone, let's give a big round of applause to their family members that are here and that have supported them. Teaching is a 24/7 occupation, and I know from having been one and being married to one that how much extra time and how much time you put in at home. So the time that your spouses and your family members give that don't have with you, that you're taking care of our kids, just is amazing. And so let's give all of these folks a round of applause. You all are the absolute best, and you've come out of, as Ken said earlier, coming out of a peer competition, so to speak, like that means that your peers think so also, and you represent some of the finest people to ever grace a schoolhouse door. And again, we cannot thank you enough, even close to enough, for everything that you do on a normal year. And these past couple of years, year and a half or so, have not been normal at all. And we just appreciate all you have done for your schools, your children, and the members of this community. Thank you all so much. Congratulations again.
Thank you, teachers. Really appreciate your efforts. Having the honor to observe and help make that decision. The candidates were just exceptional. I can't say enough what a great job they did this past year. I don't think we have any visitors tonight. Okay, we've got some requests to appear before the board. Each of you will have 3 minutes. Ms. Montgomery, are you here? Chair? Okay. Thanks for coming.
Thank you and good evening. My name is Charity Montgomery, and I would like to start by saying that I understand that you're in a tough situation. I hope that you can understand that as a parent, we are in a tough situation as well. We have raised our children to respect authority, but to also stand up for what they believe in. Right now, it's very hard to do both. Although currently only one event has been canceled, there are rumors of future events being canceled. I want to go ahead and present our view to be taken into consideration. No, the band and cheerleaders are not officially scored or judged at away games. However, that does not mean that they are not being watched. They were not allowed to go to away games last year, and even some of their other events were limited, if not canceled. Our seniors are struggling. They have already been limited to so much in their visibility and have only had one normal high school year. For those that plan to major in music or other activities, having the experience and visibility is crucial for their future. Please do not cut any of the performances, games, concerts, competitions, and programs, as these students need this for their future. As reported by Georgia DPH, as of this morning, confirmed deaths for all ages is 1.8% of confirmed cases of COVID. For ages 5 to 9, confirmed deaths is 0.01 of total deaths in Georgia. For ages 10 to 17, confirmed deaths is 0.05% of total deaths in Georgia. I have previously given information from the FEA to each of you en masse, so I will not repeat that. This morning, the staff in Barrow had 0.98% with a positive test, and the students had 0.59%. As you are the employers for the staff, I do understand you need to protect them. However, most of the masks that our children are wearing do not protect in the spread of COVID. The package of the mask that our children wear states this mask is not a medical device offering protection from COVID-19 or any other airborne particles. I have also bought 2 other packages of 3-layer masks, and they state something similar. I am not downplaying the situation we are in. I have lost loved ones to complications from COVID. However, I also see the mental damage that is being done to our children by not allowing them to have a normal school year. My heart breaks for everyone, but especially those that have lost a child to COVID. I have seen a child that I love being have someone breathe for them and on a ventilator in PICU for months. I do not wish that for anyone. However, I have also seen a child I love so depressed they were cutting and having suicidal thoughts. At some point as a parent, we must weigh the risk for our children and make tough choices. What I'm asking you to do is, yes, protect our teachers by offering N95 masks, doing temperature checks, do those types of things, but let our children have their normal school year and let the parents make the decision on whether they attend in-person or digital, wear a mask or not, and participate in activities or not. If our child gets COVID, then it's on us parents. Also, please do not quarantine healthy students again. Parents, if your kids are sick, please keep them home. In addition, in 2020, there were 1,588 traffic fatalities in our state. Of those, 377 were between the ages of 15 and 24. That is 23.7% of the deaths, not the 0.5% from COVID. If you want to put something in school to help us parents protect our kids, let's put driver's ed back in school and instead of mask mandates and limiting activities. Lastly, I want to say thank you for allowing me to speak. And I'd also like to remind everyone that we are neighbors and we are friends. And regardless of our stance, be kind.
Thank you. Ms. James, Mandy?
Hi, everyone. I love that you opened up with prayer, Lisa, and you said, thank you for freedom. God, thank you for giving us freedom, because you know, freedom is a funny thing, right? We all have it. We're American citizens. So I'm a little bit confused why you think you have the right to mask our kids. You don't have that right. You don't have the constitutional authority to mask our children. You don't. They don't work. And I'm going to go a little bit over my 3 minutes because I pay the taxes to be able to do that. Okay. My name is Mandy James and I'm in District 2. I've removed my 6th grader from Bear Creek and I put her back in a local private school where they're thriving and excelling mask-free. It's a shame that she could not do that here in this county. My 1st grader will go to that same school as soon as there's a spot for her. I will not flood you with information regarding how masks don't work and why they don't work. You can notice Gwinnett County is increasing COVID numbers, and they've been mask mandated from the beginning. So their numbers are rising and increasing by the day, and they are mandated masks. I will, however, make you aware of a study done in Gainesville, Florida that found 5 out of 6 masks worn by students were contaminated with bacteria, parasites, and fungus, including 3 dangerous pathogenic and pneumonia-causing bacteria. I will email you all those results. I'm sure it won't even change your viewpoint though, because for 3 school years, parents in this county have been trying to give you research and provide you with educated information of why masks do not work. They are harming them mentally, emotionally, and physically, but all you do is roll your eyes and bow down to the CDC and the DPH. That's exactly what you guys are doing, and it's disgusting. There's no common sense being applied at all. You all are shaking hands with the panic pushers, even though you know in your gut this is wrong. Our scores reflect that, and it's embarrassing. We are currently ranked 85th in the state, and we are surrounded by the #1 and #3 school systems. Both, however, don't mandate masks. Your cheeky email was nothing more than sugar-coated lies, and every ounce of this is political. COVID still to this day has a 98% survival rate. Yet you continue punishing our kids and teachers. You are all voting to create an anxiety and fear in our children, a culture of that in their hearts and in their minds. While we're at it, we can see your vaccine agenda loud and clear with eyes wide open. We know that's where you're headed because you always kind of let us know what you're going to do before you do it. That won't go over well in this county, will it, parents? No. You are all famous for the "we know kids are asymptomatic" speech, but yet we need to control the community spread. Yeah, we can still play at football and go to football games and crowd in there without masks. And a lot of you attended those, right? Y'all attended those games without masks. So the high school kids that were quarantined at the Battle of Arrow, they all went to the game maskless. This is a show. This is ridiculous. The hypocrisy that you guys are allowing should be plastered on every billboard in Barrow County, along with your maskless faces at all of these events. All of them. You're hypocrites. Your responsibility as a board is to be a champion for our children. We elected you to represent us, not represent the DPH. There are 2nd graders in this county who cannot even read. Speech teachers and kindergarten teachers trying to teach vowel sounds with their mouths covered. Our kids are behind. When does this end? Dr. McMichael, you and this board change your minds just like the CDC does. Masks and quarantines will be the death of public education. You're allowing that to happen right here in Barrow County. Our school system is failing, and you all know it, and you are all failing us all. I encourage each person sitting here to walk into an elementary school right now and take note of how quiet it is. That should scare every single parent listening.
Thank you, Mandy.
No, I'm not done. It's heartbreaking to watch them pay the price for this while they're trying to learn and grow.
Ms. James, we've
My son, our children will forever change how
minutes.
they
Your
see
time is
themselves and
up.
how they
You have to
relate
be
to the
fair to the
world
other
around them.
residents.
That's on you. It's child abuse and it's unconstitutional, and it makes me sick. I refuse to co-parent with you or the government. And I hope and pray that every single one of you without a spine to do the right thing
Ms. James.
going to be called or replaced.
Your time
Ms.
is
James.
well up.
Parents listening, stop supporting these members.
Thank you.
Stop doing business with them. Stand up, vote them out, replace all of them.
Mr. Garcia.
Chairman, thank you. Board members, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. Parents, students, thank you for coming and listening. Ms. Maloof, not to call you out again, I'm sorry for that. But you did say some very kind words about our freedoms and veterans and thanking them. And as one of those veterans, I'm going to thank you for your kind words. However, I would like to note that upon entry to this building, my freedoms were attempted to be violated. And I think some people saw that. But thankfully he backed off when I said it was against the law. I've said that to Mrs. Wages, that what you're doing is against the law, but she would refuse to back down, which I understand because the control you guys have. And not to be accusatory, but I pledged an oath to protect this Constitution. I love this Constitution. I pledged my life. I was willing to die. And I know much of you have seen the news of Afghanistan. Our veterans are suffering for the decision of board members, maybe not this board in particular, but they're the same people, unelected. These were elected, but who are they putting in charge of your children? Unelected people who are forcing masks, which medical malpractice, first off, it's a medical device. It doesn't. How many times have you coughed in your mask tonight? How many times have you touched your mask? When you're handing out these awards, you're touching your mask and then handing the awards out. Bacteria is in those masks and it reduces your oxygen intake up to 20%. I mean, it's proven. CDC even says, I have it here, did not reduce at conventional levels of statistical significance in the incidence of SARS-CoV-2 infection. I have these references as well, but I know I've been trained in nuclear, chemical, and biological warfare. After that, I went to work for a company that works with glue. Very poisonous. I know about masks. I had to get into OSHA. It's not hard to understand. We see what's going on, and unfortunately, you're falling for it, and I wish you weren't. Now, hopefully that parents here speaking, including myself, will give you enough information that you could make a better decision, because if you don't, there's not going to be a vote. There won't be a vote. You'll just be removed. These are our children, our Constitution, and we are at the top of your chain of command. And I would appreciate it if you did do your jobs correctly, but each one of you is wearing a different mask. Not one of them is used for protecting anyone from a virus. Bacteria is bigger. Guess what happens when you cough and sneeze? That bacteria stays in your mask. And then you sit there and breathe on it all day, sucking in your own exhaust. That is significantly more of an inherent threat to our children and their cognitive abilities. We're making them dumber and we're telling them that these masks are going to do something. They're not. I would give you some science, but I know that cognitive dissonance is a thing. And unfortunately, we're in this position because we allowed this to happen. I wasn't here to stop any of this before. This is the first time I'm seeing any of you, and I apologize to everybody for that. It's our responsibility and our duties to protect our children and our Constitution. That's all I have to say. If anybody has any questions or anything, I just wanted to get my piece said.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dr. Green. See you back. Ms. Houston.
All right. Our first report is going to be on the SPOS receipts. And we had another record month. Always thank our taxpayers for our SPOS receipts and our friends that come in and buy things. We had 1,476,567,567, and that was at 23% from the previous year. And you can see the percentages on down there. The one for 16 is wrong because that's a negative and we definitely went up. So I'll get that changed for the next time. And so our financial summary for August 31st, 2021. Okay, so our fund balance was 35,338,919. Our total revenues year to date, 15,277,259. Our total expenditures year to date, 25,679,269. Our total revenues for the month of August were 6,044,572, and total expenditures 15,505,000. And our graph, we were at 17% of the year. Our expenditures were a little bit more, 18%, but our revenues are down, but that's of course because of property taxes have not come in yet. And then that's our detail. And I have a couple more reports that I had to add this month. So Senate Bill 68 was signed by the governor in June 2020, and it is effective for July 1st, 2021. And it has to do with more financial transparency and training for local school systems, which you know I am a fan of. So this bill specifies that the local school system will present to the board monthly all anticipated revenues from each source, which means we now present budget to actual for funds other than just the general fund. I'm normally just giving you the general fund. So in order to abide by Senate Bill 68, we added a budget to actual data for all funds in a format that you approved in the budget process. We were giving you the general fund, which is where most of our expenditures and revenue activity is. But I've now added our special revenue funds, such as federal title money, special education federal funds, CARES funds, school food nutrition, and many others. Now, these funds are mostly reimbursable funds, meaning that they are always going to look like we have overspent because we spend the funds and then we have to wait to get reimbursed. In fact, many of our federal funds won't even begin to be reimbursed, to start reimbursing us until September for expenditures for July and August. But don't fret, when you see these deficits, by the end of the year, we will catch up, and most of these funds zero out at the end of the year, meaning that the expenditures will equal the revenue. We have also added capital projects, which is our sales tax fund, and our debt service where we pay our bonds. These funds will be presented to you 1 month behind my presentation for general fund because I'm hoping that we can start seeing that expenditures will equal revenues as we move throughout the year. This is a work in progress. As you and I get more familiar with this presentation, I will start adding the colorful graphs that I do for the general fund. So as always, let me know if you have any questions or concerns. So the first one we'll look at, sorry, Suzanne, I'll let you just keep on scrolling, is the special revenue funds. Right there, yeah. So our special revenue funds, you can see the activity there. Our year-to-date revenue, 855,000. Our year-to-date expenditures, 592,000. Of course, like I said, these are reimbursable, so we will get that in the next few months. And our next one is our enterprise fund. This is our school activity fund. So really, this will not move all year, and we'll wait till the end of the year to put all that activity into this fund from the schools, because we just do that once a year. Our next one is the capital project funds. And so you see that we have received $1,468,119. That's our SPOS money. And we've spent $1,045,459. And that's on our school buildings and facilities. And then our last one is debt service. And we just transferred in $1,467,000 so we can pay our bonds. Any questions on all of that? I know it was a lot. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Houston.
Thank you.
Mr. Perno, are you online?
Yes, sir, I'm here. I don't have anything to add to our report.
Okay, thank you, sir. Dr. Moulton?
Good evening. There is nothing further from teaching and learning.
Okay. Ms. Beggs? Okay. I don't think we have anything to clarify. No old business. New business, strategic plan. We're going to vote on that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it now or do it at the end? Do it at the consent agenda?
No, this one was a separate vote.
Okay. All right, I need a motion to approve the strategic plan that we went over at the work session.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Brown, Ms. Maloof, all in favor? Okay. All right, let's move on to the consent agenda then. We have first the CTAE federal and state grants. Dr. Wood brought to us. The superintendent recommends approval of the CTAE federal and state grants as presented. Next, we have the discretionary technology spending from John St. Clair. The superintendent recommends authorizing the ITS department to waive normal board purchasing policies during the COVID-19 crises when necessary due to product supply scarcity or urgent need. Subject to grand total authorization cap of $250,000 and spending authority, subject to best efforts at competitive shopping, normal approval loops, and normal board guidelines for reporting. Next, we have the network cabling per data drop RFP. Superintendent recommends awarding the purchase of miscellaneous low voltage data cabling services to Tech Optics of Winder, Georgia for a maximum of $45,000 during the 2021-22 fiscal year. We have the Lightspeed web filter renewal. Superintendent recommends authorizing the purchase of the Lightspeed web filtering solution from sole source provider Howard Technology Solutions of Laurel, Mississippi, in the amount of $70,800. And we have the Clear Touch Interactive Panel RFP. The superintendent recommends authorizing the purchase of Clear Touch Interactive Panels from low bid respondent Tech Optics of Winder, Georgia, in the amount of $987,857.50 for 250 panels. The superintendent further recommends authorizing the use of this RSP response for future panel purchases during the current fiscal year up to an additional 100 panels for a total cap of an additional $395,143. We have the City of Auburn easement, utility easement. Joe Perno brought to us. The superintendent recommends approval of a 30-foot temporary construction easement and a 20-foot temporary permanent utility easement at the corner of College Street and 6th Avenue, adjacent to the front parking lot at Auburn. State Department of Education resolution to request revision of an application for capital outlay funding at Auburn Elementary School. Superintendent recommends revision of our systems fiscal year 22 state capital outlay application for Auburn Elementary School to return funds to its accumulated entitlement for bus and car rider canopies. We also have the state DOE resolution to request revision of an application for capital outlay funding at Holstenbeck. Superintendent recommends revision of our systems fiscal year 22 state capital outline application for Holstenbeck to return funds to its accumulated entitlement for bus and car rider canopies, cooler, freezer, dishwasher, and kitchen hoods. Also, DOE resolution to request revision of an application for capital outlay funding at Appalachia High School. Superintendent recommends revision of the system's fiscal 22 state capital outlay application for Appalachia High School to return funds to its accumulated entitlement for bus and car rider canopies, cooler and freezer and kitchen hood. Also, state capital outlay application for fiscal year 23. The superintendent recommends acceptance and approval of the Barrow County School System's fiscal 23 state capital outlay application and start date form for renovation and modification of the additional wings at Bramlett Elementary, Kennedy Elementary, and Yargo Elementary. Custodial support. A recommendation is made to utilize FQS Commercial Cleaning Company to provide custodial workers along with Primero staffing. Hand-to-mind daily math fluency kits. The superintendent recommends authorizing the payment of $53,835.12 for the purchase of a hand-to-mind daily math fluency kit for each kindergarten through 5th grade classroom. Library contribution. The superintendent recommends considering Piedmont Regional Library's request to increase their yearly funding from $90,200 to $105,000. If granted, this would be a budget amendment to increase expenditures by $14,800 in the general fund. Contracted services with Kevin Rosinski and Associates. The superintendent recommends authorizing the payment of up to $80,000 to Kevin Rosinski and Associates for the facilitation of site-based professional learning aligned with the improvement goals of 3 individual L4GA schools, Auburn, Bear Creek, and Russell Middle School, and Yargo using consolidated funds. 2022 board training plan. Superintendent recommends approval of the 2022 local school board governance team training plan as was presented at the work session. Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Bailey, Ms. Kelly, all in favor? Okay. Authorization for committees. We're not doing clean school, teacher of the year. We're getting, that thing is going to get started again real soon. I talked to Megan today about that. Buildings and grounds committee, nothing right now. Compensation, school lunch, nothing. Next meeting date, groundbreaking at the new elementary school on the 16th, next, I believe that's Tuesday. Okay. Then we have our work session on the 27th. No, okay. Anything further for the interest of the board?